let's remember that we've seen all this nonsense before, so that keep it in a perspective of what's going on. To begin with, I think if the FBI and Department of Justice wanted to look at criminal activity, they ought to just walk down the street to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. I think they're pretending to be a government, they're pretending to care, and they're not even pretending to follow the Constitution. But let's go back to the 1930s. Germany had invaded, it was very prejudicial, and obviously was attacking the Jews. He ended up having the support of Stalin, at least for a while, in Russia. And Russia is now taking the place of Germany in the 1930s. When people look at Putin and think of how strong Russia was, you have to keep in mind that if it wasn't for the United States, Russia would have been overrun by Germany. We supplied them tanks, airplanes, ammunition, weapons, bullets. They survived as an independent nation because of us. And then it was only later that they had the temerity to start invading other countries because America was sick of war and didn't want to get dragged into it again. But we had, there can be more on this later on. In the United States itself, we had the American First Parties, which were very, or American First Party, which was very anti-Semitic, very anti-immigrant, very anti-everything, and allegedly was was concerned about America, what they were concerned about with themselves. At the same time, in the 1930s, there was Father Coughlin, who was a radio priest, much like Charlie Kirk, who was very anti-Semitic, anti-black, and was pushing the country towards hatred of any type of minority. We had the American Nazi Party in the United States at that time, so it wasn't all love and peace. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, Japan was invading China and going out through various parts of East Asia. And again, if it wasn't for the United States supplying arms and material to China, they very well could have been overrun by the Japanese. It was only later that we started on a downward, if you will, trend with China when we were backing the nationalists against the communist, Chinese Communist Party. Not that we were wrong in doing that, but I think China at that time in the 1940s would have recognized a great debt of gratitude to the United States. Like any country, they wanted to be independent and not feel that they were an imperialistic subject or subjugated by some other country. Then you had Italy, that was run by Benito Mussolini, who was a little fascist who just took advantage of what Hitler and what Germany and Japan were doing, and did it with Mussolini, and he took over Estonia simply because he could. It's like these same numbskulls are bombing fishing boats off Venezuela and apparently have plans to militarily go into that country. We've seen this before. Unfortunately, it took a war, a world war, to get us out of that death spiral. And in the 1930s, let's also remember we had the shooting of Huey Long. I think it was down in Louisiana, but honestly, at the moment, I'm not sure, who had a huge following and very well might have been elected president as a populist, but at least he was a very important figure. We've seen this stuff before. We've come through it, and we will come through this, but we have to keep in mind that Trump and these numbskulls are doing whatever they can to destroy this country, to attack minorities and attack people that don't agree with them. We have to be strong. We have to keep up the good work and keep going back and letting them know that this is not the America we stand for. And in that regard, always keep in mind our history. We've accepted people from all over the world. It's been a melting pot. It's worked to our advantage, to having until recently the world's strongest economy and the world's most welcoming country. We can't let Trump and his stupid alleged aides, if you will, destroy that history.